Hello and welcome, everybody. This is Janine, the Pricing Lady, here back with you once again. This is your weekly live show, Live with the Pricing Lady. As I said, that's me. I work with small business owners to help them know how to set their prices and how to close more deals when it comes to their business. Today, I have very special guest, Abby Rohrer, who's all the way in the US, actually. So, Abby, why don't you say hi to everybody?
Hi, everyone.
So I'm really excited to have her here with me. We have a little bit of a different focus this week on the program, which I'm super excited about. So it's a little bit more in the areas of mindset and karma. Now, before we get into that, if you're watching us live, I would love it if you could type hello and make sure, let us know if you can hear and see us just fine in the comments there. I appreciate if you do that, and I'll keep a lookout. If you have questions as we go through, I'll look out for those, and maybe we'll have a chance to ask Abby some of our questions. So Abby, why don't you tell people a bit about yourself and what you do?
Okay. First of all, Janine, thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here and have a chat with you about this. My name's Abby Rohrer. I'm a master money karma, and anxiety healer. And I work primarily with entrepreneurs to help to basically clear their karma and their anxiety that prevents them from charging what they're worth, from closing more sales and making more money and leveling up their businesses. So that's what I do.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And where exactly in the States are you located?
I am just outside of Annapolis, Maryland.
Okay, excellent. So that's not far from DC then.
Right. I'm about
Right.
40 minutes from DC.
Okay, good. Yeah. So for those who don't know the area very well, I just wanted to point that out where that is. So welcome. I'm so super excited. Just for those of you who are watching, I met Abby last year at a program called the New Media Summit, where we were learning about podcasting, and we've been keeping in contact and trying to figure out ways to work with each other. So I'm really super excited to have you here on the show. So you mentioned, and my own program's called Speak, Believe, and Charge Your Worth. So this whole topic of charging for your worth, or charging for really the value that you deliver, is a big one. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that from your context?
Sure. Well, from my context, I focus primarily on energies that that create fear in the mind and block us and stop people from feeling at peace and at ease in taking business actions, in reaching out to prospects, in their sales conversations, in visibility actions, all kinds of energies that stop us from being able to move our businesses forward to our greatest success.
Right.
And so I don't focus on the mind. I focus on the body and the nervous system. Yeah. And what I find is that when I energetically clear through my method, the energies that are trapped in the nervous system, then the mind automatically clears.
Okay.
So, and the fears go away like immediately, and people can move forward and just take actions as if they never had those issues to begin with.
Right. So can you tell us what that's like if somebody were working with you, or what your clients experience when you do this?
Sure. It's a really very, very easy process for a client. Basically we identify an issue that's blocking them. And we meet over Zoom. I do this over distance or over the phone. And we identify, a trigger issue for them, or something that's really challenging or blocking them in their business. And then what I do is I have them tune into their body and feel whatever sensations they're feeling. Sometimes people don't feel sensations, and that doesn't stop the process. But if they do, for example, let me just give an example. Sometimes in a sales conversation, one might feel a lot of resistance or feel like they're choking when it comes time to deliver the fee information.
Mm-hmm.
So I have them tune into whatever that sensation is that they feel in their body, and then put a rating on it, let me know how intense it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then what I do is I do healings, which are kind of hard to find language to really describe. But my healings are silent, and I'm in constant communication with spirit to find out what the next healing that I am meant to apply. And what I do is I work layer by layer, and I silently perform these healings, which layer by layer dissolve the sensations in the body and in the nervous system, so that when the person gets to total peace, right, when they get to, on a scale of 1 to 10, if 10 is this feeling of choking in my throat is off the charts, when they get to total peace with that, so that would be a 1 and even less than a 1, a 0. Yeah. When they're at total peace with that, their mind and the fears and the anxieties automatically clear. Right. And they feel totally at peace. And then the next time they begin to talk about the fee information, it's just natural, automatic. There's no clenching, there's no throat closing, there's none of that. And so they just move forward automatically as if they never had the problem to begin with. There's no having to will yourself to do it or force yourself to do it or get in the right mindset to do it. It just happens.
It just happens. Yeah. Wow, that's super interesting. So what I see with a lot of my clients is some don't have the skills and the know-hows how to do pricing. Some do, some don't have the mindset, and some do, and then all various combinations. And for me, sometimes it's really hard when I have a client who they understand how to do it, but they keep saying, there's just something in my way and I don't know what it is. And I would guess that is really where you're focusing on things, is where people just, there's something in the way. They can't really define exactly what it is. They just know that it's present and it's holding them back from doing what they want to do.
Exactly. That's exactly, where I come in.
Okay. Wow.
And people often, they don't know, because a lot of what I work with is the stuff that you just can't figure out. I'm sure your clients and the people that I work with certainly have tried for years to figure out what is it that's stopping me. Right. And so, what I talk to them about this is not really figure outable. Right. That there are energies that are just stuck and trapped in the nervous system for various reasons. Some of them are, from childhood things that happened. Some of them are energies that in my world are, trapped in the nervous system from the soul level. And so I'm clearing out all kinds of things, beliefs and fears, and even the energy of emotions. Right. So the energy of shame or guilt or anger from any time before now can really block our feelings of self-worth and being able to charge your worth, and a lot of other things that come up in business. As we said earlier, this business journey is a journey, and it's so much bigger than just business.
Yeah. This year it's become very clear to me that starting your own business, I thought that it was a career journey, that it was all about career development. And what I've come to the conclusion is it's actually a personal journey more than anything else. And as a personal journey, that also means that there are different challenges that you face than if it were just a career. If it's just career, it's more about brain and skills and know-how. But there is that, but you can learn a lot of things. But the personal side of it is often the bigger challenge that people face when they're doing and starting and running a business.
Absolutely. And you're reminding me to say that, these energies that I was talking about, they make up to 80% of what goes on up here, what we think goes on up here.
Mm-hmm.
And whether it's life or business or whatever, that what we think about ourselves, right? Unconsciously think about ourselves drives almost everything.
Yeah.
So it's such a personal journey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I often wonder, so there's the stuff that I hear in my own head. So yes, I'm confessing their voices in my head. And then there's probably a whole level of stuff that I'm not even aware of that's, going on up there or in here or wherever that is. And so, because that awareness, I don't necessarily have the awareness of it, then it's hard to know what to do with it.
Right. Yeah. And so especially about pricing, I'd invite everyone who's listening to, and in general in our lives, I'd invite everyone to tune into what you're feeling in your body.
Right.
Because we're so used to focusing on our heads and trying to figure out our thoughts. And in a lot of cases, trying to will ourselves into positive thoughts. Yeah. And it's the body so often that's stopping us from being able to maintain those positive thoughts.
Yeah.
So if you can tune into your body and really start getting aware, for example, when you're selling, when you're talking about your fees and all of that, you might not realize that you're trying to manage all of this, right? You're trying to manage your thoughts. You're trying to manage all the sensations that you're probably ignoring just to try to have this conversation with a prospect, right? Yeah. So there's so much to learn here about what's happening in your internal world and resolving that. And of course, I'm sure that comes up in pricing discussions with everyone you talk to, Janine.
It really does. Almost everyone. I mean, I had one client recently who's not into the touchy-feely stuff, as they put it, but opened up to doing. So I do also mindset work in my own programs that I offer people. And so we were doing an exercise on shifting a mindset or a core belief that's getting in the way. And, she's like, okay, well, I'll give it a try. I don't really believe in this stuff, but, I'll give it a try. And she did. And she had a very specific physical reaction to it, which was really interesting for her. Maybe that wasn't, it didn't sound to me like it was something that she had experienced before. So it actually gave her pause to think about, what it was that she was working on and what that meant in the context of that. So it was really very interesting.
And powerful, right? I mean, that opens somebody up to really start to see what's really going on behind the scenes in all this, in the numbers and the pricing and their worth.
Yeah. No, it's very true. And I have to say, for me, so many of the listeners know I went through a burnout a few years back. And before that period, I confess, and I'm sorry I'm going to say this, but at the time it was true. I always felt that meditation was for hippies. I grew up in California, and that was my association with meditation. And it was through the burnout that I got into that, and I actually use it as a tool, not just for relaxation, but actually for managing my energy. And a lot of times when one of the things I do is I make sure I leave space for myself before I sit down with a client, just to kind of, to shift from one task to the other, but also to bring myself into the space where that client is included and make sure. And if somebody had told me 6 years ago I'd been doing that, I'd have told them they were insane. Because I just wasn't that open to it. But I can honestly say for me that meditation and mindfulness practice has come into that, and it comes into my business as well.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So Abby, you mentioned that you have a little gift for our listeners today.
I do. I have an awesome, quick 1-minute money karma quiz. If you suspect that some of the things that I've been talking about might, be a factor in your own business, then I invite you to just take the money karma quiz, and you'll get a results report and also an explanation about money karma. And so I'd love to give that to you. And
excellent.
Yeah.
Also, for those of you who are listening now, or those of you who listen to the replay afterwards, I'll put the link in the comments below so that you don't have to write it down. You can just go into the comments and have a look at it. Now, Abby, if people would like to reach out and talk to you or find out more about what you do beyond the quiz, where can they reach you?
They can reach me at my website at abbyrohrer.com.
Okay.
And there's a contact navigation button at the top.
Okay, super. Yeah. I'll plop that into the comments as well.
Thank you.
Is there anything that you'd like to share with people before we take off?
I'd just like to say that if you're struggling with the energies of setting the right fees and really charging what you're worth, I know that Janine is guiding you on that, and she's amazing. So I'm excited for you if you're working with Janine. And if you're stuck and you don't know why, and you've worked on your mindset, money karma could be, and the energies in your nervous system could be the reason why. And I just want you to know that all of this stuff can be cleared. So don't give up hope. There's definitely there are pretty simple solutions out there. It's just a matter of exploring and finding what's right for you, whether it's me or someone else's work. Yeah. So, but all these things can be solved.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm to say. It's all about finding what works best for you. And that's why I like to have a variety of people on the show, so that people get a lot of different options and learn about new things. If I hadn't learned about mindfulness, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today either. So thank you so much for that. I really appreciate you being here on the show with us today. It's been a lot of fun. I can see we have a couple of people watching live as well. So hello to everybody out there who's watching. And to those of you watching the replay, hello as well. I'd like to also let you know that I have a couple of webinars coming up. My 5 Steps to Pricing Success webinar. If you're in Facebook, you'll scroll up to the top and you'll see where you can find out more about that, or you can go to this link here. In the meantime, I'd like to thank you all for being here with us today. I wish you all the best. Have a great week. And until next time, enjoy pricing, everyone. See you soon.